Okay, here we are. It's January 2021, and we are here to describe our Cellar Series 6-pack for this month. Happy New Year. I hope you got through the holidays just fine. If you didn't, we've got some wine here for you to kind of jumpstart and kind of slingshot into the new year with some fun new wine. So it's cold out there. We're eating a little bit with a little bit more kind of weight and richness, I think, on the plate. And I think we're going to try to match that with the wines that we've got in the glass here. Same deal. All the wines are 20% off, and we have some really kind of special pricing early before we do any discounts here. So we're at about $150 for the 6 bottles, and we're doing 2 whites and 4 reds. A nice blend of old world and new world, and some very kind of young progressive new producers, kind of some old classics from California and Chianti. Yeah, some exciting new wines that we're excited to share with you. So it's a crazy world out there, and I think that we're looking for a little bit of distraction in the glass, and that's kind of like where we're going to start right now. So we're going to southern Italy, just outside of Naples. This is a wine made from a grape called Fiano. This is Antica Masseria. This is the 2018 vintage of their Fiano. I love Fiano. Fiano is a grape variety that brings a really nice kind of salty almond, kind of lemon zest quality to the glass that really is transportive in a lot of ways to the Mediterranean. And I'm talking like sunny southern Italy, Mediterranean. So when I think about these wines, I think about like, you know, kind of pursuing a little bit of seafood. So like make a trip to coastal, come here, and then think about like maybe like grilled fish, maybe like a shrimp dish, but kind of the sky's the limit. But it really is at home with the wine, or I'm sorry, with the cuisine of southern Italy, especially like Neapolitan cuisine. Like I would just think, you know, kind of throw some nice citrus and kind of some maybe a little bit like chili oil to your pastas or your seafood as well. So lovely wine from the south, and just kind of the distinct, I think, white wine of that area of Campania. So made from outside of Avellino. So we are moving to near Santa Barbara in Southern California. So this is Birichino. Birichino is a producer that we work with several different wines from these guys, and they make fantastic bottlings, whether they're white or red. This is their Chenin Blanc from the Jurassic Park vineyard. Kind of a fun name for that vineyard, but some really, really serious old vine, you know, 40-year-old plus vines of Chenin Blanc. So think wines from Vouvray, think wines from the Loire, you know, kind of that dry, honeyed style of Chenin Blanc that has really kind of, I wouldn't say bracing acidity, but it is like really pushing that kind of ripe golden fruit across the palate. Definitely a winter white kind of to watch. So calcareous and like quartzite soils here, a blend of neutral barrel and stainless steel. These guys kind of just do everything right, in my opinion. So you know, organic farming across the board, kind of small production, but just really, really pretty wines. Red wines too, but happy to feature their Chenin Blanc here. So we are going to Beaujolais, and Beaujolais is really special, I think, for a lot of different reasons, because from north to south, they really, really change. So this is Pierre Coton's 2018 Côte de Bruy. And Bruy is basically a large hill. It's probably the highest elevation part of Beaujolais. For the most part, outside of like when you really start to ramp up on the western flanks of Beaujolais, but kind of the standalone, almost a little spur of not a mountain, but just a really big hill of almost pure blue granite. So this is the part of Beaujolais, like the one cru I feel like that really brings a lot of base to the fruit. It's a lot of like fresh and deep black fruit. This is a really young winemaker. So Pierre, I think started in 2014, maybe 2015. He spent a little bit of time in the Loire, and he's a former like motorcycle mechanic, but which is kind of exciting to me as a motorcycle rider. But like, I love how vibrant his fruit is, and I think that it's really special to have kind of just that fresh and wild black fruit, especially kind of in the doldrums of winter as we kind of like head into the dark side of the year. To have a bottle that you can pull the cork on and just really get like transported into this more kind of like really, really expressive electric style of Gamay. So small production, great wine from Paris Wine Company importing, and and pure Coton. So moving to another kind of like youthful operation out of California. This is Groundworks Syrah. Domestic Syrah really is kind of like a crapshoot for me. Like I either love them or I hate them. And the things that I'm not really crazy about with domestic Syrahs that is when you really kind of just get this big kind of spicy fruit without any of the aromatics that really kind of bring you back to that archetype of the Northern Rhone, which is kind of just this placeholder in my head for kind of that like black olive, that white pepper, kind of just that really kind of wild, cold part of central France where Syrah kind of just springs out of these kind of granite hillsides. This wine has that. It doesn't have all of that because it's from Santa Barbara. It has like this kind of like plush fruit to it, which is really, really nice also. So I'm happy to kind of see this wine kind of in conjunction with like, smells like the Northern Rhone, tastes and feels like California. And that last part in the middle of the winter, like really kind of hits home. Like, I feel like I like to come home to a bottle of like full kind of figured, like, you know, kind of structured fruit, just kind of a happy, bigger wine. Like it quite a bit. So really lovely Syrah from Groundworks. These guys make great wines. And again, kind of like that young energy, just like great young winemakers. So moving to Chianti, moving to kind of the area, the Classico zone between Siena and Florence, kind of right in between those two for Rodano. This is Rodano's Via Costa from 2015 vintage. Via Costa is above just their Chianti Classico. This is 100% Sangiovese. It's 30 months in like large Slavonian oak. That's the phone ringing. But what do I like about Chianti Classico in general? Like just bright cherry, like that dusty cherry fruit. I would say that maybe my favorite part about Chianti Classico is that like it just goes well with a lot of my favorite foods at home. Like I really am a fan of like, and at home with just kind of like a classic pasta dinner, and also just like you know, kind of grilled red meat. And this kind of just kind of cleans up because it has really bright fruit, good acidity to the wine. But as their like reserved wine, it just kind of brings that extra level of kind of complexity, a little bit more weight to the fruit as well. It's a really, really lovely wine from Chianti. So not all Chiantis are like that $15 bottle that just is kind of bright, cheerful, dusty cherries. Like it does kind of take it to another level, and I'm really excited about this wine with that respect. So moving to the Napa Valley, and actually moving to the Napa Valley, but just to the east of the Napa Valley. We're looking at the Childs Mill Vineyard right here from Red and Green. So this is Zinfandel for a Cabernet lover. These guys have been making wines here since the like mid-late 60s. You know, Jay Hemingway was a producer who really kind of, this is his baby. He kind of grew out of that like culinary scene in Berkeley in the late 60s and 70s, and really kind of took this vineyard kind of to that next level of California winemaking, which for me translates to and means that the wines have kind of this fantastic appeal for just being great wine, whether it's Bordeaux or Burgundy or the Rhone or wherever like the great regions are. Napa Valley absolutely being one of them. There are just standalone wines, and I think that Red and Green is one of those producers. We opened this wine up, you know, in our back room here, like welcome to our back room. That's where we're kind of filming this from. Like we opened it up on Christmas Eve and we blind tasted it, and everybody was just kind of oohing and eyeing over this wine and just thinking, well, God, it tastes like California, but like, is it Cabernet? Is it Zinfandel? Like, it could be French. Like, but everybody was just thinking like, God, it's just gorgeous wine. So that's kind of how I think of it as well. You know, 14 months in a combination of French and American oak. Lovely Zinfandel. So a toast to the patriarch who passed away in 2019. But this is our way to start the year. This is the Cellar series for January 2021. Thank you very much for following us into the new year. We hope you enjoyed these 4 reds and 2 whites, and you can find them here starting this weekend. Email us, call us, direct message us, and we'd be happy to get them into your hands. Thanks again. Happy New Year.